What's going on, folks? Back at the Digital Demons podcast. This is episode 25, and I'm fucking pissed. I'm just gonna say it. Real pissed off right now. Real fucking pissed.
As you should.
Yeah. Having to do this audio shit once again. Not even because of technical difficulties. My animals here seem to have it out for me and not want me to produce anything that I like to do, apparently. I don't know what the hell they've tag teamed my ass with my podcasting equipment. I had Blaze knock over the camera and broke off the audio feed cable with that, so that's lovely. And then I was like, okay, cool, whatever, dude. We will do the podcast just audio this time. And I've kind of grown like away from the podcast doing just audio because I like having the camera. I bought the camera stuff to do camera stuff with the audio and everything for the podcast. So I'm like, whatever, I'll order new cable. We'll do it, whatever.
But like what he means is like Blaze straight up knocked over.
Yeah, the whole tripod over onto the ground as I was getting ready to come and sit down and film this episode, would have been this episode.
And straight up knocked it over. The camera was on the ground and
I'm like
bent the whatever the plug
is. The
is.
headphone jack, that goes into the camera.
Like it was completely bent in half.
Yeah, so that happens and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do the audio. So I come over here, sit down on the couch and unzip my in-ear monitors that I use every episode. And I'm like taking them out. I'm like, cool, we're going to put them on. And then I go to unravel them or whatever you want to call it. And it turns out Spanky, the newest little terrorist that you guys seen in the last episode,
kitten, but no excuse,
decided to eat the fucking cord of my in-ears that I've had for 10, 15 years, whatever it's been now.
Now, mind you, these headphones are like super expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Like 120, 140
something
bucks.
Like that.
Yeah,
they're not
super
cheap.
expensive. Yeah.
I mean, there are other stuff that's way more expensive than that, headphones wise. But the point is, he ate the fucking headphones.
Yeah.
So not too pleased with him, nor am I pleased with Blaze at this moment. And I know we said Blaze was going to make his debut, but apparently that struck a chord with him. He knocked the fucking camera over and decided to scrap that idea with us. So maybe, I don't know, maybe another time you guys will see Blaze. But yeah.
It's not funny.
So pissed off moment over with for right now. I don't know what I'm going to get into this episode. I have some, little liner notes, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, pissed off moment over. Officially starting our topics like usual. But yeah, just had to get that out of the way so that way we're clear on why we don't have a video for this episode. Is because the animals co-conspired and fucking ruined it. So
well, hey, how was your week besides this? Tell me about your week.
Busy.
Yeah,
busy as all hell.
Busy's good. I mean, that means your week's going by fast.
Yeah, I guess so. Like the days at work they go by quick, but there's a lot of shit that gets packed into the time that we're there. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It's work. Yeah. What's been up with you and work? Are you busy with work?
So I work from home and it's amazing, but work has been busy and not busy like through these past few weeks.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like working from home is one of those things where it's an absolute dream, but considering I haven't left the house since Saturday. I haven't seen actual sunlight since Saturday, which is my own.
Well, you see sunlight. It's not like we live in a fucking prison cell.
Well, yeah, but the last time I left the house was on this past Saturday.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it, Work's been, again, up and down.
Yeah.
As a marketing director, it's either really busy or really slow.
Yeah.
So work's been good.
Well, it's weird. It's weird that you brought up the working situation, because one of the things I was going to talk about was a story I was reading about a dude. He's 45 years old, a Japanese guy, retired at 45.
Oh,
Did you hear about this thing? Did you read it or
I
anything?
did see something about this, but like I didn't dive into it. So tell me
Yeah.
more.
So he apparently spent 20 years living like a total minimalist lifestyle.
With just what, vegetables and rice, right? Or-
Yeah, it said
Yeah.
it said his journey began in the early 2000s, and he had a goal to save 100 million yen, which is like comparable to what it say 640,000 like US dollars to
not
retire,
bad.
which is a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
So he drastically cut back on his expenses, and he was eating rice and vegetables daily for 21 years.
Yeah.
And it said that his frugality extended to extreme measures, such as using the summer heat to cook sweet potatoes on a colleague's car windshield, and living without basic comforts like air conditioning or heating.
Well, you know how I feel about that.
So it said like, oh yeah, I know how your air conditioning has
We'll
to be
dive into
on.
that, but continue.
Yeah, so apparently earlier this year he ended up saving 135 million yen, which is about 860 grand, like with our US dollars.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but it's kind of fucked though, because that's been like deteriorating over there, and like the value of the yen or whatever isn't that
Yeah.
good. So it's pretty much like killed off his hopes and dreams almost of like retiring. I think he's still retired, but not with as much money as he was initially planning on having, because he got kind of fucked over with the yen taking a nosedive. But yeah, that was kind of funny. You mentioned the whole work thing, and just kind of really like weirdly segued into that like little story or whatever. But
That's, like I said, I like working from home, but like one of the things you and I had talked about before I took this job was, well, hey, you're going to be at home a lot, so be prepared for that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. Like, I'm totally happy with it. But considering, again, I don't leave the house. I mean, I have hobbies, but
you
I-
work from home, so your
yeah.
home is your workplace now.
yeah, like I wake up, clock in, work, and it's just I'm home.
Yeah.
Like it is. I mean, it is what it is. I do love it. I love, all the people that I work with, and it is fun. But what's the one thing we don't like about me working from home?
What?
The electric bill.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a given.
So I'm one of those people that like I'm just gonna be very honest. Like, okay, I'm a bigger girl. Like I don't do good in the heat. I need cool air. So I keep our air conditioner at like lowest would be 72, but I do try to keep it at like 74. That's like that's the highest that I'll go to.
At the rate of 24 hours a day. Like it never turns off.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I get hot easily.
Well, get ready to be cold, because I'm praying to God
I
that the
can't
weather
wait.
breaks and we don't use the heater for a single day.
Oh, we won't.
You're going to be having to like start fires like a caveman and shit, because I'm not turning the heater on during wintertime.
Yeah, exactly. My biggest philosophy is it's easier to cool down, or I'm sorry, it's easier to warm up when you're cold than it is to cool down when you're hot.
I live like I'm in
And-
Antarctica when the wintertime comes. I'm in hoodies and jackets and
Yeah.
shit like that at the house.
And
inside.
luckily, we have a fireplace. So,
Well, you better get to chopping trees, dude, because wood packs are expensive too.
we can get a, what was it? I just learned about this past year. A cord or a half cord.
Yeah. And we burn wood like nobody's business over here when it is wintertime.
So we get the wood while we can during the summer while it's cheap.
Well, something. And then
No,
it gets
I-
dried out and it burns up in 10 minutes.
I need to be better with, the AC, but also
Well, summer's over now. Summer's over now, so
No, it's not. It's still in the hundreds out here.
well, it's not for long. Not for long. When that dips down to 80, air goes off, windows open, and
I don't know
the
about
pockets
that.
get relieved.
But yeah, that's I like using the AC.
Dude, he is all over the place.
Oh,
Spanky is definitely on my shit list today because he's just being a terrorist right now. And I get it, he's a small kitten, but oh my God, have I had
He's
it
not
up to
that
my
small
neck.
anymore. He used to be very small. Now he's like a teenage kitten. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's a teenage size kitten. Cat.
Well,
You have freaking butthole. Okay,
Yeah.
he's gone.
he's definitely getting too big for his britches around these parts. What else have I picked up? A lot of this stuff, like, I got so delayed this weekend with doing the podcast, and it probably would have been better to do it over the weekend because most of the stuff I was going to talk about kind of like disappeared from my brain, and I was just picking different other stuff to kind of just hit on. One of the things I was talking about was the viewfinders
What's that?
for like it picks up like hidden cameras and like Airbnbs and shit like that, and like
Oh, like the device?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's smart to have. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of videos on that.
Yeah, because like, what is the deal with people having to like spy on people? Like, I get you're a pervert. Like, if you do that, like, you're having like cameras hidden, and I get it. Like, people want to keep their Airbnbs or their house or whatever they're renting like safe, but at a certain point, like, put a fucking security system outside. You don't have to monitor people walking around in their underwear and bras and whatever inside the house. That's like personal time for those people. Like, what are you gonna gain by that? Like, if you see them smoking weed inside your house, you take it up with them after, you smell it in your house. You're like, yeah, that smells like weed in here.
I mean, yeah, there's no excuse why there should be like apps like even in hotels. Have you seen those videos
Yeah.
where like there's no reason for that? Like,
Well, people
and
are
you
freaks.
also like even with the Airbnbs, like you take that responsibility of like, yeah, that might happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, like, I don't know.
Well,
that's so weird.
I knew
Like,
some
to have-
people. What were you saying?
like to have like I've seen in videos where they have like the cameras hidden in like and again this goes for hotels too,
Yeah.
like in the light fixture,
Yeah.
up in like the shower, or like
The alarm clock.
yeah, the
Yeah.
alarm clock.
That's some
like,
weirdo shit.
that's so weird. Like if you're that insecure, not insecure, but like if you're that, well, I mean, yeah, if you're that afraid of people doing bad things, that's because you've had bad things happen before.
Yeah.
And that's the risk that you take having an Airbnb
Yeah.
or in a hotel. But, that's,
I knew
that's
some
gross.
people that had a townhome, and they had used it as an Airbnb, like rented it out and shit.
Mhm.
And some of the people that were in there that used it like a week after we were there with them or whatever, had like a get together. The people that came in, like they're people that rented it from them or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They were doing some booger sugar there.
Ooh.
And the only reason why they found out about it was because they apparently got too high and left like the dish under the sink in the bathroom just full of cocaine. And they were
Gross.
like, oh, yeah, you can't pin this on anybody else because your little chop up card happened to be your debit card or your credit card with
No.
your name on it. And so they were
Yeah.
like, hey, we found some of your stuff here. And we were just wondering like, what the fuck kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
don't
like
do that.
yeah, I would rather find that kind of thing in the house and not be a weirdo rather than have to put hidden cameras everywhere, like putting them in a speaker, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some weirdo shit. Like, I don't need to
Yeah.
have total, full inside control. Like, if I know I'm renting a house out or going to rent a space out or whatever, people are probably going to do some fucking shit in there. Like,
Yeah,
whether it's
exactly.
sex stuff or drug stuff or whatever, who knows? You just
stuff.
gotta be weary of like the people that rent from you or whatever. And you don't have to be a piece of shit either. Like, don't go and, do drugs and fuck shit up if you're renting a place like that from somebody, especially when they trust you. And if it's contractual, I'd be headhunting. I'd be going after them for getting money. And if I found a fucking hidden camera somewhere, oh man, especially like a hotel chain or something, I'd be like the lucky owner of a brand new hotel chain somewhere.
Oh, nice.
I'd be the manager. I'd be on like some Sopranos shit. I'd be the one that was running it.
You fugazi.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck, Christopher? Yeah. So yeah, the whole hidden camera thing is really weird. But yeah, the viewfinder thing is kind of dope because it's like a little black like box thing. It just like you wave it around and it'll like go green or red or whatever the color is once it detects something, and you can just be like, hey, what the fuck? Like, why is there a camera in this like dictionary or over here or whatever?
We should get one.
I mean, I don't think I would need one because I don't really travel like that. When I do travel, it's like, I don't know, it's
Well, when we go to
normal-ish
Vegas.
places. I would hope somebody puts a fucking goddamn camera in my fucking room in Vegas.
They should pay for that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I'd be like, this shit needs to be on pay-per-view, dude.
Like, you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me know if you find this, and if I see it on the internet, I'm fucking people up. Yeah. What else?
Oh, did you see that video that I sent you of the guy that was like, he was like standing there and like they shot him and
And his face just starts bleeding.
yeah, like they straight up, it must have been a 22, but they straight up shot him in the cheek and it went out like,
It's probably like some Ukraine shit or something where he's like,
but he didn't like do anything about it. He was just like, yeah, I'm getting shot in the face right now.
yeah, he just
And-
like takes the shot like straight into his cheek or like off his cheek or whatever, and just blood
Yeah,
starts
like-
pouring out.
If you're looking at him, it's on the left side. He gets shot in the left side of his cheek, and then it goes out the back side. And
Must
this
have got
guy
like a
didn't-
ricochet or like some shrapnel or some shit like that. I don't know.
So insane.
Yeah.
Like, I even saw. I've seen this before, but I think this is like super badass. I saw pictures from what was it? Saddam Hussein. I'm saying that right?
Who? Saddam Hussein?
Yeah,
Yeah.
said that wrong. But yeah, like they showed pictures of when they first infiltrated his house
Oh
and
yeah.
like the golden AK-47s
Well, yeah,
and
those-
like, oh my god,
Those dudes that have like the cartels and shit in Mexico have all that kind of shit. Like all the MS-13 dudes and all that shit. Those fools get down like that too. He was he was probably one of the first ones to have all that, and they kind of like took his style.
yeah, but like these pictures of like they're in like this area where it was like I don't know, it's like a giant pit of all the gold
Yeah.
that he had, and like I was
Those
like,
pictures are from like 2000, like early 2000s.
okay, well I'm behind on the times, all right.
About 20 years behind.
I am.
Jeez Louise.
That was
Oh,
so
my
awesome
God.
though. I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
heck yeah.
those guys. So I remember a while back we had talked about the ammo machines. Speaking of guns and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they're coming to California now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hope
an
so.
ammo vending machine. I don't know how the hell that's going to work. You might be able to put some more light onto that, because with all the paperwork and bullshit that we have to do to get a fucking box of 22 ammo around here,
yeah.
a vending machine probably isn't going to do that great in California. Like, how do you do a background check on a fucking vending machine? You're not going to scan somebody's retinas or get a fingerprint
Yeah.
and then just drop it out the bottom like it's a fucking cherry Coke. Like, it's that, I don't know. They're proposing, it's American Rounds is the company, and they're based out of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But they're
explains
claiming,
it.
yeah, since they have one in Colorado now, they're gonna put them in California. Well,
I mean, it's not gonna happen.
Colorado
until,
though is pretty staunch on their gun
not
shit.
at all.
Really?
Actually, yeah. No,
No.
they're
California
their
is
laws-
fucking the ass of the world. So
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice. So in California, there has been, in the past 3 years, there's been twice that it's been like where you can go buy ammo without having to do an ammo background check. So for a little bit of
It's like Freedom Week, right? Or whatever
well,
it's
no,
called.
not that. So in the state of California, you cannot buy ammo unless you've had a firearm registered to you,
Yeah.
your name at your current address within the past 5 years.
Oh, well, yeah. People are going to be
So-
asked out then because you're not
Yeah.
going to just slide your debit card in there and.
So, like, say for example, like, say if I didn't own a firearm, okay, and I wanted to go shooting with you, but I wanted to buy ammo because I'm learning how to shoot, but I didn't want to make you pay for all the ammo. So if I wanted to go buy ammo,
You couldn't.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I would get denied, I would get denied, which, you can go to different like shooting ranges and you can buy the ammo from there, but you're paying not, what is it? You're paying,
You're paying more for it there.
well, yeah, you're paying more than the average price. And not only that, you have to shoot all of the ammo that you buy. You can't take it home.
Yeah. Because it could be used in the commission of a crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks. I mean, but that's California for you.
Yep. Good old California. We got the Olympics coming to LA in 4 years, and Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
God damn, that's going to be a shit show.
Ooh, I am staying. Well, I already stay home.
Well, yeah,
I
you're
am staying home
yeah.
for that. There is no way I'm going out driving.
Well, they said that they're not going to have any cars like going into the Olympics. They're going to source apparently 3,000 buses from different places around the country that are going to
No way.
like shuttle people into the Olympics.
And that's
out
going to
and
make
in.
it worse.
Well, that's their master plan.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a shitty master plan.
Well, don't forget too, it's going to be in the middle of the fucking hood. So you have all these Olympic athletes just roaming the streets with all these hobos and stuff like that. And
Sleeping on cardboard boxes,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yep. I mean, hey, the homeless thing is getting taken care of. Gavin Newsom
Oh,
is
that's right.
cleaning up all the homeless encampments now after being
our savior.
after being our governor for fucking several hundred years now. Fucking Count Dracula himself on the what was it, the 880 the other day under the freeway, and I can guarantee this, it was probably a clean section before, and all his people probably just took trash and just put a couple little pieces here and there and then had him go underneath there and clean it up for the cameras and be like, look at the effort that I'm making. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm so sick of it. I bet a lot of people are sick of it. We're all sick of it. It's like, dude, you've had how fucking long
Yeah,
to clean this
exactly.
shit up? And now all of a sudden, hey, it's election year. Your boy's going to get to work finally, putting in work. He's going to grab himself some fucking chemical gloves and go clean up shit off the streets and drug needles and everything else under the glowing California sun. And he's doing it just at the right time within the last 80-something days before the election. What do
Yeah.
you know about that?
But let's be realistic. He's probably just there with his shovel and his gloves and
Oh, he had some
for
work
a
boots on
whopping-
like he's going to fucking do something, dude.
Yeah, let's get it on camera for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a showboating
And then
exercise is all it is.
Let's put him back in his limo, send him back to his paid house through the taxpayers.
Mhm.
Remember that, right?
All his
How his
shit
house,
is,
yeah, his house was paid for.
Well,
No,
he-
his house was paid for. It was like a charity, I don't know, something like that. But he didn't pay for his house.
Yeah, somebody's got to do something. I don't know if he's going to be the guy to do it, but I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be exactly the fucking waste management company over there. Like I said, it was on camera, so the people are going to eat that up and be like, "Look at how much he's trying to change the state already."
Yeah,
He's
but,
changed it already.
yeah.
Fucking changed it to be a piece of shit.
But he sits there and acts like he's physically doing something about it. It's like, no, don't sit there and
No, he's
act
picking up
like
trash,
you're-
and that's about it.
Yeah, you're picking up trash for 20 minutes. Congratulations. Everyone should be doing that.
Well, not me. I ain't picking up no motherfucker's trash.
We
I don't
pick up
litter.
trash. Oh,
I don't
that's
litter, so it ain't for me. Send those motherfuckers from the jail to collect all that shit.
true.
That's their fucking job.
You know what's funny? I just started watching the show. So, ooh, sorry. So you and I just started watching, like us together, watching The Sopranos, right? So I can't watch The Sopranos without him, and vice versa. So I just started watching today the show called Fire Country, and it's like, you know, like the people that are in jail, incarcerated, whatever, that have access to fight fires. That's great. But it's so funny, like us talking about how, you know, Newsom doesn't do shit for us except for it's on camera. And like watching the show, it's like, okay, it's cool. Like, let's actually put the incarcerated to do good for us.
What's this supposed to be? But they don't. They coddle them and give them everything for free. Like, you want free fucking healthcare? Go clean up all this shit around here, and then when it's time for you to get a cold or whatever, then we'll take you to the doctor.
Well, hold on. I mean, they are getting free healthcare because they are incarcerated, but let's make them.
I'm
do
paying
work.
for it. Yeah, they need to
Right,
have a fucking labor fucking
right. Let's
system
make
over there.
them do work.
And I'm not talking about, oh, he's going to go and work in the kitchen and deliver trays to people for lunch. Fuck that. Like, go out there and start busting your ass. Like, you're in jail. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
But
Like,
it's funny that we're talking about this, and I was like, oh, I just started watching this show.
yeah, that
Super
is weird.
cheesy, but
So, yeah, so we're talking about the Olympics in 2028. And
Oh,
thank God
man.
the Olympics now are over. That's all I got to say.
how long was the Olympics?
2 weeks.
I
It seems
was
like
like-
it's like 5 years long when it turns when you see it.
felt like it was like for so long.
Well, because it's on TV for 20 years long. It's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But it's on constantly every single day, all day long. And then all of a sudden it's over with for another 4 years. Well, you have your Winter Olympics and all that stuff too, but the summer stuff.
What? There's a Winter Olympics?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Summer
how
and
long
Winter
are
Olympics.
the Olympics, like, in general?
Well, you have 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, I guess. I don't know. I'm not the commissioner. But yeah, France, dude. Disgusting France hosted the Olympics, and we all saw what a nightmare that shit was. Those people said that they got sick from eating the food. It made them sick. It wasn't like anything that they would expect. Like, it was barely enough, like, to keep them, like, going.
Really?
Like, the
Like, the
Olympic
athletes?
athletes' meals were like dog shit. What do you expect from France, dude? Snails and a fucking piece of asparagus or some shit?
Okay, hold on, though. You and I like escargot.
Yeah, as an appetizer, followed by a gigantic ass steak.
Touche.
You know what I mean? Like, these guys were like almost damn near malnourished. And then you had the people that were doing the swimming portion and all that stuff in the Seine or however you say it, river or whatever. And they all got fucked up. And people were like, it's because they were running a triathlon or whatever. It was like a marathon running and sprinting and bicycling. And that's why they're throwing up. And people are like, not really, dude. That's like one of the most disgusting bodies of water ever. And they're swimming through it.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, I didn't know for sure if that was real. But like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Like, just go swim in the poop water over there and
the
at
poop
the
water.
water reclamation center, dude. And you just get turd juice all over you and pee.
Ugh.
But we'll just do freaking synchronized swimming in it and it'll be an Olympic sport.
I had seen like a lot of okay, so I saw this it wasn't an interview, but like, it was like I read something like a week ago. They was talking about how a lot of countries, like in the beginning, a lot of countries wanted to have the Olympics in their, you know, in their countries, but after realizing how much it would cost to make everything like I don't know if pleasable is the right word, but like make everything. So, for example,
Like ready for them to host?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, you know, Paris had to do all this. They've been been doing construction to make the Olympics be there
Yeah.
for I don't know. I think it said like the past year or two, for like 2 years.
That ain't shit. They released the drawings or the renditions or whatever of the Saudi Olympic like
Oh, yeah.
stadiums and shit that supposedly in 2032 they're gonna host. Holy shit! It looks like some Star Trek shit. And you know
Well,
how they get down. There's like all types
yeah.
of like wild looking like stadium. It's nuts. If you pull it up or whatever, if you're listening, the Saudi shit is bonkers.
Saudi Olympics.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit's gonna be off the hook. Those people are gonna probably make bank just
But
being
yeah.
over there.
But like
But they can't
it
drink.
went well, that's true.
Get your head cut off over there. Some shit.
But yeah, it went from having all of these countries that want to have the Olympics to no one wants to do it because it costs way too much money to host the Olympics now.
Yeah,
And it's like, well,
there's
I
been
mean-
countries that have bankrupted themselves from trying to get the Olympics and never even did. And it's just
That
that's the
sucks.
shit that happens. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, if you're not ready to do some kind of big shit like that, then save your money.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what they're gonna try to portray California as, the Olympics for the Summer Olympics. Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. You saw what they did with the Super Bowl. They just had a
Oh,
zoomed in
man.
shot of the Super Bowl, the stadium, and that was about it. And then everywhere else is like, oh, this is Malibu. This is, this isn't actually where the Super Bowl is being held because the Super Bowl's in the fucking hood, like right next to the Forum.
Yeah. it is
Badass
in the
area.
hood.
Yeah, it's a badass area. But they were making it, oh, it's a spectacle worldwide. Everybody across the whole world watches the Super Bowl. We need to make it look as nice and luxurious and, not as sleazy as California really is. So that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to do with the Olympics. They're going to just show Malibu, or they're going to show the beach, or they're going to show somewhere that's probably 100+ miles away from where the Olympics are actually happening. They'll show probably fucking up north in the damn redwoods or something like that. And make it think like, oh, this is the Olympics. Like, no, that's like 7 hours away from the Olympics.
Like, hey, let's show you how amazing California is and how awesome the Olympics are going to be here.
Yeah. And then you see all the people getting mugged and robbed and probably murdered outside the damn stadium because they're foreigners.
Yep. And also, it's going to be $100 to park your car. So,
No, there won't be any cars. They were just talking about that. They're not going to have cars.
That's right. That's right.
But just imagine those Uber prices, though. Probably going to be a fortune to get a ride over there, if they even have any of that available. Who knows? But the whole Olympic experience this year was highlighted with homegirl from Australia's breakdancing.
Oh, man.
And everybody's seen that shit already. This is old news because I'm like 100 light years away from having a like an actual episode come out right on time. But yeah, that the Rachel Gunn from Australia decided to make a mockery of. Now, I don't even know why is breakdancing a sport.
It's not anymore. You saw that, right?
Well, it shouldn't be. It should never have been. And they're signing petitions in Australia for her to be held accountable for that shit.
Well, they actually, as of the past like 2-3 days, because of that, they took that out of the Olympics.
Well, good. That's next year they'll have, or the fucking 2028 they'll have finger painting or fucking drawing or some shit like that as a sport. Singing. Oh, let's see who the best singer is because that's it's a talent that somebody has. Like I get it.
Yeah.
You dance, that's cool. Good on you. The whole cultural thing behind breakdancing, I get it. It's cool. Whatever. Not for me, but I get it. It's the thing people do. It's whatever. It's their expression. They breakdance. They slide on their head and they spin on their back. Whatever.
That's not an Olympic sport.
But it's not a fucking
though.
sport, dude.
Yeah,
They had
come
to
on.
fight for like 50 years to get skateboarding, and that barely even happened just recently. But yeah, it was hilarious because if anybody, well, not like anybody hasn't seen it, but the people that have seen it know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She just went up there and just looked like she was having a fucking seizure across the floor. She apparently got into this too. She had to do like a trials like thing or whatever to like even be like available to go to the Olympics or like eligible or whatever. And she passed up all these people that were like notable like break dancers or whatever in Australia to get there. And so now they're all fucking pissed because it's like, why did she go? And she gets 0 points for her score to begin with.
Yeah.
Didn't score a single fucking point after she like dragged her fucking head across the floor and did all this like crazy like flip flopping and kangaroo dancing and all this shit everywhere.
Looks like a toddler.
Yeah, it's like yeah,
Dancing
she's having
around
a
the
fit
floor.
on the floor. Yeah, looks like when Blaze lays down and like scratches his back and like just flip flops all over the floor. That was her doing
Don't you
breakdancing.
disrespect Blaze like that. He does better.
Yeah, Blaze. Yeah, Blaze has got fucking way better moves than Ray Gun, dude. She has a PhD. It says in cultural studies, and she studies breakdancing and hip hop culture at Macquarie University in the Department of Media, Communications, Creative Arts, Language, and Literature in Australia. So she's a lecturer at a university, and she does this shit on the Olympics.
I mean,
She should be accountable for that shit. She would be put in jail for that shit. That was a ridiculous mockery of that.
I totally agree with that, but there's a reason why she was put there in the first place. It's because someone told her that she was doing a good job.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And
Like,
it sucks because she has to be so embarrassed now.
yeah,
Because
gaslighting at an
like-
all-time high right there.
well, no, not even that. It's like she thought she was doing a good job. She's like, heck yeah, I got accepted into being in the Olympics. Like, I'm gonna represent Australia.
That'd be me who has like a dual sport motorcycle going and riding the trail across the street, and then
You can do
entering
that, though.
and then entering fucking race over at the racetrack or some shit and getting my ass handed to me and being like, well,
no.
I mean, you guys said I was really good at it, but I mean, like, I tried with the actual people that race and do that kind of stuff for a living and hobby all the time. I mean, I'm like a weekend warrior kind of thing, and I got my ass handed to me.
I know. I get that, but
You should be
her,
expecting to get your ass kicked.
in her eyes, she was told, like, yeah, we're gonna put you in the Olympics. You're doing such a good job.
Yeah.
And now she's getting roasted, and she has to be so embarrassed, which sucks.
Well,
you know?
I mean, the prime minister from Australia was like, she did a great job. We think she did an excellent job. Her outfit was great, her this and that. And I'm just like, dude, are you fucking blind? I mean, Australia's a pretty stupid country anyways, though. You know what I mean?
That's messed up.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, they have like fucking Canadian laws, and we all know Canada fucking sucks. That's been on the books for forever now. Justin Trudeau's an absolute piece of shit. He's like the second coming of like the satanic version of Gavin Newsom, if that's even possible.
He's like a fucking
He's a sissy, is what he is.
yeah.
He's a fucking idiot,
Oh,
dude. Justin
well.
Trudeau is a fucking idiot.
No,
Now he
that-
wants to get
that
all
was
extreme
messed up.
again.
But you know what? He's like, don't
But I
even
don't
get
know.
me started on that.
I don't know what was worse, her performance as the Olympic breakdancer or the dude from France. What's his name? Anthony. Where the fuck was it at?
Oh yeah, it was like
Oh, dude. Let me find his name.
his,
Anthony Ammirati.
oh, there you go. Yeah.
The pole vaulter that got his fucking dick and balls fucking stuck on the pipe thing or whatever.
Okay, let's be real though. Would you rather be known as the breakdancer in the Olympics that's
having a
really
fat dick and
crappy,
balls?
or well, the guy with the freaking big dick? Like,
Oh,
I mean, come on now.
I can't say anything about that, dude, because I get fucked with all the time
Oh,
at
yeah.
work, and the people at work know this shit. It happens
What's your
all the
nickname?
time. It's funny, but this dude apparently got offered 250 grand from a cam website. Cam Soda wants to pay him
yes.
wants to pay him $250,000 for a 60-minute cam session to just show his fucking wiener off.
That's true. I mean,
250 grand for 60 minutes.
what would you do if you were offered
If
that?
I was that dude and I was already online
or
getting,
just you yourself?
if they told me $250,000 just to go on there for 60 minutes, yeah, fuck
Right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on now. Like, it's
But your average Joe isn't gonna make that much money. They're not gonna
that's
be
more
like,
than
hey, here's
a
250
regular-
grand.
Yeah, that's more than a average person's salary.
But if you're already online everywhere with your wiener hanging on the pole of the fucking, Olympics or whatever, like people are they're already gonna be expecting some kind of shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that like they offered him like, hey, like go on the website and bust that shit out and we'll give you 250 grand.
But you know what though? I guarantee you, if he waits it out, he's like, nah. You know what? I could make some more money off of that. He could easily make.
No, I don't think
Like-
I don't think so, because that's only going to be a short little window for him to do that,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
because who's really going to care that happened in another 6 months from now?
it's gonna be a meme for a long time.
We're gonna be in fucking World War III, dude, by the time that motherfucker pulls his dick out on the website. So nobody's gonna give a fuck, and they're gonna be like, "Well, you're just another person that signed up for the website. Thanks." Like, good luck, dude. So, yeah, yeah, that shit was crazy. But that petition though for the ray gun chick, they almost got 35,000 people that have signed. Yeah, that's crazy. It's gonna be her and Anna Mears, apparently, this other chick, over alleged unethical conduct related to Gunn's Olympic breakdancing performance. It accuses her of manipulating the selection process and questions the integrity of her inclusion in the games, suggesting more qualified athletes were overlooked. Well, no shit.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where have we seen somebody that's not qualified get picked by somebody to do something on a grand stage?
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like our fucking 2020 election to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's exactly what that sounds like.
But
And
hey,
we're
you
only
know what?
80 something days away from that.
It's gonna be so great.
It's going to be some shit is what that's going to be. They're going to have the VP debate on October 1st.
Ooh,
That's going to be another fucking...
I'm gonna take that day off.
I ain't going to take that day off. Shit, I'll catch that when I get home. What are you going to take the day off?
I was gonna
We
say,
could be on the
quote.
fucking computer here just checking it out at work with your feet kicked up. That'd be cool.
Okay, so I have
I'll
to
watch
talk
it when
about
I get
this.
back home from work.
Okay, so with me working from home, I get my work done during the day, but I can also do my own thing. So if I want to have the news on in the background while working on the computer, I can do that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I have to wait like my whole shift and then go out and to the surprise of me catch like a headline or something. I'm like, fuck, this happened like hours ago and I'm like super late on it. And that's where I make my notes for the show at.
Well, I know for a fact it's November 5th.
Yeah, the election
Yeah.
itself, yeah.
I'm everyone at my work. So I am so blessed that I work with Republicans and that are very we all see eye to eye. Every single one of us see eye to eye on political views. So we all get that day off and we get paid for it because we've got a great boss.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
everybody,
that's
I
a
mean,
holiday for us.
you're legally bound to have time off to vote wherever you work.
Technically, it's only in the state of California, you only get 4 hours.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck?
Well, at
4
my
hours
last,
is 4 hours, dude. That's
Yeah.
half a fucking day.
So at my last job, when I went to go vote, again, for my first time voting in
It was a primary.
primary, I almost said preliminary.
The primary for the Republican ticket because
Yeah.
apparently the fucking Democrats don't care about who they have. They
Yeah.
just give fucking people the
So
votes.
again, in the state of California, you have 4 hours before work or 4 hours before your shift ends.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it the last time, so I got off work early. It's 2 hours. I'm sorry, it's 2 hours. But I couldn't make it before work at this time for my first time voting ever. Okay. And I got off work 2 hours early, got paid for it, and I gotta tell you, it was the most exhilarating time of my life.
You haven't seen shit yet.
And he took me to go vote, and even though it wasn't it wasn't a big deal, but it kind of is, because you need to go and vote for the people that you believe in. And you know what, if you don't have to be a Republican, you go and vote for what you believe for. But man, I went there, he took me there to go vote, and just voting for my first time, I can't remember the last time I felt this euphoria of being like, this is so awesome. And
Yeah,
he got
wait-
done before I did.
Wait
And
till the November election. It's going to be like you're fucking, you better just put on some chainmail and grab a
Yeah.
sword or some shit because it's going to be like you're going into fucking battle, dude.
But he
And I
got
probably will stay up the entire fucking night.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
it'll probably take weeks and months and maybe a year to get the fucking election results back.
Yeah. But
'Cause-
he got done before I did. And I walked out, and I waited until I got out of the building. But I was just like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. I was so it was just such an amazing feeling. Like, it's just voting for someone that you believe in is just such an amazing feeling. And I'm so excited for November. It's going to be so fun.
Well, they had all the pro hackers get together and look at all these machines that they've used in the past, and they're like, well, this X, Y, and Z is still fucked up. Like, we need to do something about it because this is where our vulnerabilities are at. And you know what they said? It's too late. There's nothing that we can change right now.
What?
The election is too close, and there's nothing that we can do about it right now.
Yeah.
For this year.
What?
Yeah, they looked at everything and were like, yeah, sorry, we're like 80 something days away from election. There's nothing we can do about it. So if something happens, something's going to happen.
I feel like the American people know that.
And what are they going to do? Nothing. Their hands are tied. They don't have any ID. They don't have voter ID. They don't have paper ballots. They don't have none of that shit. It's all on machines. Or you mail your shit in.
And we can't trust that.
You can't trust fucking anything. You saw what happened the last time. There's gonna be a lot of pissed off people, but that's the way it works. But the VP debate. Tim Walz, Kamala's esteemed fucking colleague in her bid for the presidency,
Gross.
is talking shit already to JD Vance, and he's like, "Oh, we're agreeing to the CBS debate if he even shows up."
Okay.
Really? Like, what the fuck? Like, this fool pulled up on Kamala Harris at the fucking airport and was like, "What's up?"
And she didn't say anything.
She didn't come out of the plane. She didn't do anything. She hasn't talked to media or done any kind of interviews in almost a month. And she's been the one, they say. She's the one that's going to do it for everybody.
How are you going to sit there and say, "Oh, they won't come and say anything. They won't do anything about it." And
he won't say that to my face.
Yeah.
Bitch, you got pulled up on like it's a fucking rap concert.
He showed up and you had nothing to say. So what does that say about your character?
She's an idiot. She's had 3.5 years to do all this stuff that she's talking about doing right now and hasn't done a fucking thing. And now miraculously, if you vote for me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to fucking change this. And we're going to inadvertently steal Trump's tax plans on tips and all this other shit, which is hilarious. They're painting this as their grandiose, like, oh man, we're going to really help the middle class out.
Let's see what Montel has to say about it.
Montel's fucking old news, dude. We already know that. He's been left by the wayside.
I just found out last night that, I knew she made her rounds with men, but man.
Why do you think they said Joe and the hoe when they first got elected?
Oh, no way.
Come on, man.
Oh, man. I am so out of the loop.
Yeah. But her VP pick is a complete freak. He was the guy that was running Minneapolis when that whole place was burning down after the George Floyd riots. Uh-huh. And he was heading it up during the COVID bullshit and all that stuff too. And he's had like all kinds of weird shit that he's done with like putting tampons in boys' bathrooms and schools and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a weirdo. But my favorite little hit piece that they tried to do on him was the horse semen one, where they tried to say like, oh yeah, 30 years ago he was dared to drink horse semen and he did it, and then he got his stomach pumped and all this other shit. They figured out that it never really happened or whatever, but I thought that was absolute gold because he is a freak. He's into the whole pedo lifestyle, the alphabet shit and all that stuff. And he's a fucking odd dude. But the one thing that I saw the other day and I was just like, no fucking way. Like, I get like California was like a shitty ass place to be at when all that stuff was going down, but he actually had the police patrolling neighborhoods when all this stuff was going down, and people weren't allowed outside their houses, but he had like a gigantic force of police walking down this street, and this lady, it's a video, and this lady's filming, and the cops are like, get in your house, and she's on her porch like videotaping, like, what the fuck are all these cops like patrolling for? Like, this doesn't make sense, kind of thing. Like, this is crazy overreach kind of thing. And so they turn on her, like, get in the house. And she's just kind of standing there, and they're just like, pop, 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 pop. And they just shoot all these people on the porch with paintball guns. And it like hits them all over the place, and they fucking bolt back in the house. And the lady's like, oh, he shot me in my crotch. And like, there's like green paint marks like all over this lady's pants. So he was doing like radical shit like that back in the day. And if trust this motherfucker gets as a VP, like what kind of shit he's gonna try to implement as the VP if she's a fucking president? God help us all if that happens. It's insane, dude. Like, but the whole thing also too, JD Vance was banging on him about his whole stolen valor thing too, where he was in the military and then he ditched the unit he was supposed to deploy to.
No.
Yeah, he was supposed to deploy with them, and he ditched out on that. He got his retirement early and all this other shit, and skipped out on the deployment, and kind of left those dudes by the wayside so he can get out and do his thing. But he has the nerve to tell everybody like, "Oh, dude, we don't need these weapons of war. The AR-15 platform is a weapon of war, and this and that, and we don't need that on our streets. I've carried the weapons of war into wars and all this other shit." And it's like he never fucking went.
Like he bailed out.
Yeah, the dude's a fucking liar, and he's just a fucking terrible, terrible human being. And yeah, it's not gonna be good if he ends up in there with her. So yeah, it's gonna be some shit. And the whole thing with their tax on tips and all this other shit.
Oh, yeah,
they just bring this idea to what they think is their idea to the table this month. Trump was already talking about this shit back in June. Like, hey, we need to relieve, this and that. This is how it's going to work. People that have like public service jobs aren't going to have taxes on their tips. And then they come back with this idea. They try to make it their own, but they obviously forgot that back in August of 2022, Kamala herself cast the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which basically just crumbled every fucking thing, sent everything into a spiral. And that obviously it gave additional funding of $80 billion to the IRS so they could hire fucking more people. And all of that was so that way they could track workers' tips and all that shit, and they could be taxed. That was part of that whole plan. So now she's flip-flopping again, like she's been doing the entire time.
Yeah.
We're not going to tax, we're not going to tax the tips. Well, she was the one literally that posted or that cast the deciding vote on all this shit. So just another way for them to kind of just weasel their fucking way into the limelight again and try to, oh, look at what we're doing. What we're doing is so great for the American people. We're going to ease the pockets and the spending and everything like that by having our ideas, brought to life with, if you vote for us, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, dude, fucking snake oil, not happening.
So I've been a bartender server for over 10 years now. And the entire time that I've been again, in the service industry, it's always been like we would rather have cash tips so we don't have to claim credit card tips. But again, like most people pay with their card and tip on their card. And that's, again, it's one of those things where it's like people are tipping out of their own money as a like, hey, thank you for the great service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always in the service industry, it's, we always would rather get cash, but because we get taxed on the tips, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, yeah, tax on, on like the food and stuff like that. Like, I get that, even though, tax is theft, always in my eyes. But, I don't do that anymore, obviously, but like we should
every little bit helps.
Yeah, like
yeah,
especially in the service industry, like they make minimum wage, and some people only work 4 hours a day. Some people work 6 hours. Some people work 8 hours.
Yeah,
it's the demand.
Yep.
So if someone, say you're scheduled for, we'll say 9 to 5, whatever, you're scheduled 9 to 5. Well, it's slow, so you only get to work 2 hours that day. And whatever money you make on tips that day, say you make $100 working 2 hours, well, you get taxed on it just because you do great service. And, it sucks.
Yep. Well, hopefully it's not going to be a thing anymore for those people.
I
because that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Need all the money they can get. Oh yeah,
we're looking at as you can hear.
Blaze was just doing his Rachel Gunn impression on the floor.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Blaze is such a character. He was just laying on the ground on his on his back and just rolling around,
flip flopping like the chick from Australia. So, but it looked better. Okay. So it was we all heard about that whole airplane crash too in Brazil that killed 62 people on that plane. That was some sad shit. But what they found out too was on board, and I don't know if this is, like I said, I always have like skepticism on shit like this, but apparently there was 8 cancer doctors, and they were on their way to where was it? I'm trying to think here. They were on their way to some conference or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like basically going to be like whistleblowers and stuff, and they were going to discuss turbo cancers as an epidemic and stuff that's related to their findings of the mRNA and the COVID-19 vaccines. And yeah, I guess it's fucking a lot of people up, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that I don't know if that played a kind of a weird coincidence or whatever with all that stuff, but yeah, they were on board and no longer live anymore. So the more that they can take out that go against their COVID bullshit, because COVID season's here again, and people that are all into that shit are getting their vaccines again and doing all this stuff and wanting to mask up and all that other shit. And I don't think it's going to happen again. Not to the scale.
Oh, no.
Nowhere near the fucking scale of the whole 2020 thing and beyond that. But New York, actually, Nassau County, just made wearing masks in public illegal.
Good.
Yeah. So they say it's going to help fight crime during protests. How about crime just in fucking general?
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, like, so for example, this past week, I've seen a lot of videos of like people that are that like are in like businesses and they've got their masks on, and you can't see who they are. They're just like, they're there causing trouble, and it's like, okay, what's the reason why you're wearing a mask? Don't tell me it's because you're trying to fight off COVID. No, you're trying to
they exposed that later on after all that shit. They said that the whole masks never worked. It was just something that they just did. Like Anthony Fauci was like, oh, just something, that we just did. We just threw it in there as part of the rules. Like the whole 6 foot distancing bullshit never was actually scientifically like a thing.
Right.
So now they're using the masks to go out and fucking just joyride and steal all kinds of shit.
Ride around in their cars with their masks on.
Yeah.
I cannot, and I know you agree with me on this. If you are driving in your car wearing a mask, it's one thing if you have passengers, but again, you still look like a piece of shit. But if you're in your car wearing your mask
by yourself,
yeah, like you're still a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry, it's just, that's ridiculous.
Well, now
ridiculous.
Now there though, you can it's being considered as concealing identity, and they're going to charge people with misdemeanors, and they can be fined either $1,000 or go to jail for a year.
Heck yeah.
For wearing a mask in public, which is pretty rad, because in California the shit's so rampant that people just show up with a fucking 99-cent mask on and take thousands of dollars worth of shit, and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah,
because you can't figure out who the fuck they are. Yeah, you can't ever tell who they are.
But also in California, if you're stealing
$850 worth of shit,
900, it's like 985 or 9.
Well, they must have upped it because the people are in need.
It's just under $1,000. If you are stealing less than $1,000, oh, it's just a misdemeanor. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know what? This is something that I did want to talk about, and I know this is going to, hit, I don't know. Some people are going to be iffy on it, but So again, in the past week, I've seen a lot of videos on, people that are, actually in need, mothers that are stealing, you know, formula, or like people that are in the cold stealing, like, clothes and stuff like that. And a lot of those videos that I'm seeing, these people they're getting caught by the cops, or, the cops get called, and the cops are like, hey, you call us if you need help. Like, there's a better way to go about it. But can you imagine every single homeless person or someone that's in need calling the police department or going to them and saying, hey, I need this?
Well, there's not enough police to do anything. You can't even fucking police the streets,
Well,
dude.
I mean, and not even that, but they all have been preaching like, hey, reach out to us. There's a better way than stealing items. And yeah, there is. But can you imagine every single, you know, person that's in need reaching out? You can have like 100 people a day. Can you imagine, like, all these police officers and firefighters paying out of their pocket?
Well, you do anyways. That's how the fucking jail system works. You pay for them to get
Right.
out of jail. They don't have anything that's worth arresting anymore in California.
I know, but like my thing is, like, I see these videos of, again, like, it's police officers saying like, hey, there's a better way to go about this. Reach out to us and we'll help you. Okay, well, there's only so much help that
You're
they
gonna
can
give them
do.
$5 and then they're gonna turn around, take that, and then they're gonna go fucking steal whatever they want anyways.
But not even that. Like, they can't keep going out and spending,
They're not
$20
I wouldn't
a
spend
person.
that's not like how they're doing it. It's not like they're having like a fucking parade of cops just going and handing people money.
What I'm saying is, these videos that I'm seeing are these police officers showing up to these calls that are, people that are stealing. The call is being called because this person is stealing.
Mm-hmm.
And the police officer is saying, hey, there's a better way to go about this. You contact us and we'll help you. Okay, well, if you have, 50 to 100 people, calling you guys a day and you're paying out of your pocket, like, it's just, there has to be a better way to help people.
That's why you're only seeing probably a couple of videos here and there, because it's not like everybody's doing it. I don't give money to homeless people or people that do shit like that. Sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, I don't fucking
If
I
you're
don't trust
hungry,
that shit.
I'll get you food if I
Yeah.
can, but I'm not gonna give you money. I'm not gonna,
Yeah, I'm not doing anything for them to fucking just take off and go and fuck around with my shit. Not gonna happen.
yeah. But I don't know. I wish there was better resources for the homeless people that are actually in need, that are trying to get help. There's a difference between the homeless that are like in need, and there's the homeless that
Con
take
artist.
your money.
That's
yeah,
a con artist.
that take your money to go buy drugs. So
That's why you don't give homeless people your money. Because
exactly.
here in California, 99.9999% of those people are probably fucked up on some shit and are trying to just buy more to get their fix.
Yep.
And that is why I don't do that shit. I don't give money to fucking nobody at all, period. But apparently there's a couple in New York, last little tidbit for me, that charge their wedding guests $333 for a ticket to their wedding.
Yeah.
You hear
I
about
saw
that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nova and Remo Styles made ticketing their guests a reality, apparently. Yeah. Real nice. They ticketed, the ticket included a seat on their double-decker bus and a 12-hour tour of New York City. Number one, if you can't afford to have a fucking wedding, don't have a wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, man, I'm buying like 75 tickets at Angel Stadium, a full buffet, and then fucking buying limousines for everybody to go down there no matter where you live at. But it's going to cost you $1,500.
Psych.
And then go hit up all the homies from out of state and expect them to fucking fly in and bring family or whatever, whoever's coming with them. And then on top of that, pay for a fucking ticket to come and see me get married. I'm cool if you just dap me up and be like, hey, can't make it. I'll see you fucking later, dude.
Yeah, just
Right
say,
on.
hey, I can't make it. But
I'm not ticketing people to come to a wedding. That's
Yeah, no.
outrageous, dude. And number one, who's gonna want to ride on a double decker bus, dude? Buses suck. And you're in New York City
Oh yeah,
of
no.
all places. Like New York is the second California. It's a piece of shit. Like I don't even know how many times I've said that before. And then you have to be on the bus for 12 hours. I wouldn't even want to be on a bus for 10 minutes in New York City,
It's
let alone 12 hours.
it's cool to go once, but I mean, I was there for a little bit and I was like,
I flew over that shit and it was like, there it is. All right, see you later.
yeah, just actually be there and you're like, no.
Yeah. So apparently they saved $70,000 by doing that. How many fucking people
Yeah.
are that dumb to pay that much? Like to pay to come and see you get married to the tune where you save 70 grand. If you're having a $70,000 wedding and you can't afford it, you shouldn't be getting married in that kind of fashion. Like hit the courthouse, get your paperwork and fucking give her a kiss and we'll be done. Like 70 grand. That's what people paid them to come watch them say I do, basically.
Yeah, that's wild.
70 grand better have a fucking big ass concert in my backyard with like the most prestigious rock groups or whatever of all time. That's worth the ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Like go have a good like honeymoon. Like
Yeah, I'm having fucking Kiss play at my fucking reception, but we got to pay these fools. It's going to be like a blast.
Yeah, no, I picture maybe 25, 30 people at my wedding. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, like how do you just tell somebody no? Like
nah.
like no, I'm good on that. Like you can just I'll send you some flowers or something. Like I don't need to come and watch you get married for $300. Plus I got to fucking pay my way there.
Yeah.
Like you better be sending me on a fucking plane to come to your wedding as part of that $333 too.
You know what? I will say if you want to have like what do they call it? A destination wedding? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to have a destination wedding, cool. That's for you and your me being the bride, you and your groom and maybe your parents, but even then, like most people can't afford like a destination wedding.
Yeah.
If you want your family, your entire family to be at your wedding, make it reasonable.
Yeah, make it local.
Exactly.
In your state.
Yeah.
Or like Vegas, somewhere it's something that's like if you're local to Vegas or local to whatever destination.
Close to Southern California.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be like, hey, we're getting married, but we're going to fucking go to Bali. I hope you guys can all make it. People are going to be like, fuck off, dude. Here comes my card in the mail.
Yeah.
Like
flights are $2,000 each way, and then it'll be about another $2,000 for your stay.
Yeah.
And then you also have to give us a wedding gift.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be like, well,
no.
just so you know, I'm showing up in fucking shorts and flip flops, dude, because I can't afford nice clothes anymore because I'm coming to this fucking wedding.
Or I'm just not going.
Yeah, or I just send you a card in the mail and that's it. And then you get, that's it. But if you're local, we'll show up, have a good time, do whatever you got to do, get married, have a good, jolly old time.
Yeah, enjoy the actual wedding.
Yeah, but don't make it across the earth, dude, because nobody's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's coming. Nobody is coming to your wedding that costs you $600,000 and you can't afford it. It's like, okay, you guys are clearly hood rich because a lot of that shit's probably on credit. And you're expecting me to foot the bill? Fuck off.
Psych.
Not happening. Do your own thing. Make it local. Make it fun. And that's all I got to say about that. So what else you got? You got anything?
No.
That's going to do it, I guess, huh? This has been, I don't even know how long this has been. It's been probably a while, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't really been keeping tabs.
So for dinner tonight, I'm going to make homemade spaghetti and meatballs with cheesy garlic bread. And
Okay.
I don't know. Do we want green beans?
I
Or
don't know.
asparagus? I don't know. I gotta
I don't
cook the
know.
asparagus. But yeah, that's what I'm going to make for dinner tonight.
Well, cool. I'm looking forward to that. And hope you guys have had a great week so far. It's midweek hump day, dude. Closing out hump day, I guess, because, just technical difficulties out the ass and my animals are plotting against me, apparently. But yeah, check out the podcast, share it with your friends, get it all over the internet, do what you got to do. Help me out a little bit here. Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast streamed from, it's there. I can guarantee you that And also, I'm on Instagram. You need to follow me there for sure. If you've listened to the show, tell your friends and your folks.
Yeah,
Shoot
get
me a
it together,
follow.
guys.
Yeah, on Instagram, digital_demons_podcast. Also YouTube, just type in Digital Demons Podcast. You'll see all the filmed episodes so far until we've had our little run-ins here.
And the awesome logo. I mean, I will say that logo is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. I've been kind of tinkering around on X a little more here and there. You can follow me on that also. DGITLDMNSPOD, Digital Demons Pod on X. And lately, I've tried to stream on Twitch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Twitch is a thing now. I'm not doing it like every day, but it should be fun to mess around on here and there. Just kind of go on, see what everybody's doing, get thoughts from people, engage a little bit more online. Looks like fucking Silvio from The Sopranos, this guy over here.
What is he doing?
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you want to share some stuff, share some funny stuff, and we'll discuss it on here. These guys are duking it out in the hallway right now.
Right now.
Our animals are just going fucking crazy right now, and it's going to drive me up the
Lisa's
wall.
at the end.
Yeah, these two are battling right now, Smokey and Spanky.
Who?
Oh, that's not Smokey. I thought he had his collar on. Listen to these two. This is the life that we live now.
Oh, man.
Fucking insane. So anyways, yeah, if you guys want to email me, digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to go and get this whole thing under control. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. We'll catch you guys on next week's episode or this weekend or whatever if I can get
In a couple days.
if I get my fucking life together, all right? Yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of you guys selves.
Bye.
Peace.